to the Crossroads podcast, although we have considered it renaming it the Soul Patch for reasons you'll find out in just a minute. I am here, Kevin, as usual. Wes has returned from the last episode where he took a cupcake and didn't participate in the podcast. And joining us, those are all true things, for the very first time for our special edition talking about the mission trip to Puerto Rico, it is Nick. How are you, sir?
I'm so great today.
Now, we want to get to know you. But I know that you're pretty close with Parker, are you not?
I'm pretty close with Parker, I would say so.
Now, our amazing cameraman has made a lot of really positive decisions over the last several months.
Just got relegated from board op to cameraman.
Yeah, that's right. Producer, if you will. He's made a lot of really positive decisions. But he also decided to shave off the beard for the goatee. I was a big fan of his beard. Well, what do you think about the goatee so far?
I think if you ever go into, like, the Dallas Museum of Art, you see like the profile picture, like in the bottom right corner. He looks like an artist, like a mid-centuries artist with that goatee and the long hair.
Yeah. All right. So you're a fan.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of cool.
All right. What do you think, Wes?
I think it's great. You want any more than that?
I just want to know if you're telling us the truth, Wes. It's important to be truthful.
I'm telling the truth.
All right.
Listen, Parker and I talk about this all the time. As a fellow big guy.
Bubba.
Yep. Bubba is a way to say that. So this happens to me every time I shave my beard. People go, "You've lost weight," and I know that's part of Parker's journey right now. It's part of my journey, so I like it because you can tell the weight that this guy's dropping.
Let's go.
So I'm here
all
for
right.
it.
I like it. It'll take me some time.
Gotcha.
Much like it
You
did
missed the beard.
for the beard to grow out, it'll take me some time to get used to this. Now, aside from your friendship and love of Parker's facial hair, what else should we know about you? You went to Germany last year, I know that.
I did go to Germany. I had a great time. This year I did go to Puerto Rico. That was a great time as well.
Before we dive into Puerto Rico, what do you want the people to know?
Where do you work?
I work at Crossroads Church Rowlett. I also work at Shields All Sports.
Oh. Would you say you rank higher at Crossroads than Parker?
I would say...
You can plead the fifth if you want to right now.
I would say that Parker is a hard worker, and so am I.
Oh, man. You're going to make a good career in politics. I like it. All right. How long have you been at Crossroads?
I've been at Crossroads working.
How long have you been at Crossroads, Nick?
Because was Wes for the
Was I
youth
your
ministry?
youth pastor?
Yeah.
Sure was my youth pastor. And he did a darn good job, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, I think he did a great job as my youth pastor. He did a great job.
Wes, do you think you did a good job as Nick's youth pastor?
Oh, we should talk about this off air, but also he's back, so he's here. So I think that means yes. I think it means
Okay.
I did a great job.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I want to know, what is it that drew you to, well, just mission trips in general, but what is it that drew you this year to Puerto Rico?
So honestly, it had to do with my work situation. I wasn't
At
gonna
all
have,
sports.
At all sports, yes. I wasn't going to have enough PTO and able to go to Germany, and so I wasn't going to go on a mission trip at all. And then I heard about Puerto Rico. I honestly just thought it'd be really cool, and so I prayed about it, asked God to kind of direct me in the right way, and well, a couple of days later, Wes told me that him and Caitlin were going, and that isn't exactly why I went, but I mean, it definitely incentivized it. I had some good experience going last year to Germany with one of my best friends and Parker and a couple of the others, and so I thought it'd be really cool to go with another good friend.
Another friend.
Another friend.
Those friends power rankings for the end of the show.
Oh, they're bringing back MySpace just for that. I like it. All right. And so, Wes, had you been on the Puerto Rican mission trip before? And is this a newer?
Yeah, new first trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first trip. So I can give you background on why we ended up there. So
And why you scheduled it when you knew other people specifically wouldn't be able to go?
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but
That's
great.
me. I am that other person.
My bad. Yeah, man, I'm an awful person.
I think you're the best.
Thank you. So Casey Pruitt, who is the wife of Shane Pruitt, who has been on this
yeah.
podcast. So she went on this trip, or a trip to this place in Puerto Rico last summer with her daughter's school, like college.
Okay.
When she was there, she called me and was like, our church has to come here. She was like, I think we do an excellent job here. It's very relational, that kind of thing. So she connected us with the pastor there. It's a church plant in kind of the remote part of Puerto Rico. So we'll talk about this more in a minute. It's 25 miles south of San Juan, an hour and 35-minute drive. So
oh my goodness.
It's a little windy. And
Did the math pretty quick.
Oh.
it was pretty rough. But it was fun. And that church just has a desire to reach, really the thing that drew me there and that drew our church there. They have a desire to reach teenagers. I did student ministry here in some form for like 15 years. Love hanging out with students. Think there's just incredible impact there.
It feels like so many of the younger people on your staff all came through your system, so to speak.
Call him Master Splinter.
They do call me Master Splinter.
That's nice.
Which they had to explain to me, but I do understand now. So, because I'm old. But anyway, and I don't watch movies. But the interesting thing in Ibanito, which is where we were, is that no church there is reaching students. Like, there's no youth groups. There's nothing there. So, like, there's a huge opportunity to reach students there.
So was that I know every mission trip we do has multiple examples of like things you're trying to accomplish.
Sure.
But when we talked about Brazil last week, there was a lot of discussion about like the medical needs and everything. Was youth outreach, student outreach
so definitely next generation type
Okay.
stuff. So kids and students, and then we'll talk about this in a little bit. And then we kind of just fell into some senior adult ministry, which was kind of some of the highlights of the trip. So kind of shifted while we were there. So the reason I went to Puerto Rico, it was about scheduling, and it wasn't about that Kevin couldn't go.
I'm just kidding you about that.
I know. But one of the things that's hard when, like, my wife is in education, so she is very passionate about sports ministry. She really wants to go to Germany, and it is always the first week of school. Yep. And this trip was the last week of summer. So she was able to go. We talked about it, prayed about it, and really, like, we've never been on a mission trip together and get to serve together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was why we ended up in Puerto Rico, it was a really great time.
I promise this is not a trap question or anything like that. What was that experience like going together as husband and wife?
It was amazing. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? No,
I promise I'm not trying to set you up. I really am curious.
No, it was so good. Kate, it was so good. That's
Shout out Phil.
Yeah, shout out Phil Wickham and the Puerto Rico team that hates that joke now. But it was really good. Caitlin and I served together in student ministry here for about 5 years, so we miss being able to do things together. So it's a great experience. She's also like a totally different person with different gifts and different strengths. So getting to watch her kind of do her thing and me do my thing, it was just a really great time. So
walk me through because this is something that I don't know if everyone has the total appreciation for when it comes to the mission trip. Some of these mission trips can include less than desirable travel.
Okay.
Walk me through the journey to get where you're going before you even start doing the thing that you're doing.
You should take this over because you were the driver.
Yeah. So here's what I would say. There are obstacles to every mission trip.
Sure.
There are less obstacles to this trip than there are to a lot of other ones. So
yeah, the Brazil one sounded
right. Germany even.
Yeah,
like,
you have
got
to put in work.
8-9 hour flight.
Yeah.
So the hardest part was that we had to be at the airport at 3 a.m. the first day. We flew from here to Houston and then layover in Houston and then Houston to San Juan. When we got to San Juan,
how long is the Houston to San Juan?
4.5 hours.
Okay.
So not short,
And
but
the layover was what, like 2.5 hours?
yeah, it was like 3.5 hours.
All right,
yeah.
so
it was a good day.
Yeah.
We got there. We our drivers went and got the rental cars, came back to the airport, picked up our team. It was pretty smooth, quick. Went to Walmart because there are Walmarts in San Juan. There are not Walmarts in Ibanito. So
okay.
So you're about an hour and a half. There's grocery stores, but
Sure.
Not major markets.
not major markets, and
Okay.
For anything, right?
and mostly not in English once you're in Ibanito. So
Is the time just an hour?
yeah,
too
it was
long?
just an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So went to Walmart, got like stuff for breakfast and a couple different supply things, and then got in our car, and this is unique to our other trips, is there wasn't like a local that picked us up from the airport.
Right.
Like, we just put our address into our Airbnbs and started driving. So it was about an hour and a half drive. The first 45 minutes is pretty flat and awesome, and highways.
Yeah,
and
we were warned like pretty heavily
Yeah.
of windy roads and to take medicine for it. And I was super nervous because I get super car sick, especially if I stay on my phone. And so I made sure to put my phone in the little pocket.
Caitlin had taken her Dramamine, and we're like 45 minutes an hour into the drive. And we're like, this is fun. Like, what are we talking about? And then it changed, right? You just immediately start going up the mountain. And to be honest, it's not that different than being like in Colorado or something. Like, it's not like, the only major difference is there's not a whole lot of guardrails.
No.
I was
that would be
just thinking that.
The sporadic trees are your guardrails.
Yeah, sporadic trees. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a great drive. The first drive was at night when we got into the windy road, so that was a fun time. I may or may not have almost driven off the side of the mountain trying to get into our neighborhood. But
okay, pause. Look, obviously we're going to talk about the other things, but I'm going to go to Nick for this.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1, everything's rocking along, to 10, thank you for speaking at my funeral, where were you on the life and death scale with Wes driving you there?
I was to that point. I was at like an 8.
Oh no!
The turn-in was super
up
close.
to that point, you were like at a 1.
Up to that point, yeah, I was at a 1.
Okay.
I had probably the best Chick-fil-A I've ever had in my life in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Really?
It was amazing.
That's really good.
And then for the solo joke, Wes liked to speak in a Puerto Rican accent a little bit on certain words.
I was just trying to help.
Can you give us an example of one of those words?
Thank
That
you.
was a trap question. You should not have answered
I
that.
don't care. He asked me. She asked me if I wanted solo or combo, and I said solo.
He said solo. So
you're in the car, delicious Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A.
questionable verbiage, and then you're about to die.
This is gonna be the longest podcast ever. We've been in Puerto Rico for 2 hours so far.
The last one was long too. People loved it.
Okay.
the turn-in to our neighborhood was super close to this other turn-in. Well,
Turn-in is generous to our neighborhood. Catastrophic drop into our neighborhood.
No.
I can't see there's a road
He's
until you're on
driving,
it.
and he's like, "Is it this one? Is it this one?" And me and Caitlin's in the passenger seat. I'm the back seat, so she can see a little bit more than I can. So she's yelling no. It really means no because she can see more. I'm yelling no as well for emotional support because it's getting bad. Like you cannot see off this cliff, and he's just still inching. He's like, "Is it this one? Is it this one?" And we're yelling no. And so he eventually has to turn around.
How long is eventually?
It was only a couple seconds. We're talking about it like it was a 10-minute ordeal.
It felt like a 10-minute ordeal.
5 seconds.
We eventually made it to the right cliff.
To the right cliff.
To the right cliff.
And then you go down the hill.
It's like steep.
But our Airbnb was awesome.
It was beautiful.
great. It was
The
beautiful.
view was beautiful too.
Is this, and maybe in part because of the travel, is this mission trip a little bit shorter than perhaps some of the others?
Yeah, I mean, it was 4 nights rather than like 10. So,
Okay, yeah.
It might be longer the next time we do it. Who knows? So
All right, so
I know, but
you,
I would be the one that would know.
lived, and
I did
that's
live.
great.
I did live.
This would probably be a very different podcast today.
We might not have a podcast.
We would have y'all's pictures up there instead of what the Bible says about it. It'd be a totally different thing. All right, so you make it there. Where do we go from there
Yep.
to mission time has started? And can you walk me through, if you have such a thing as a typical day, what
No.
does okay.
But I can walk you through every day
Okay,
if that helps.
then let's
So-
do that.
We didn't know what every day would look like.
Yeah, every day changed. So
Okay.
when we got there on a Saturday night. So first thing we did, got up Sunday morning, went to church, drove into. So we stayed in a different town called Barranquitas, which is 20 minutes from
There's an
Ibanito.
accent coming out.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Just because I pronounce Spanish words in a Spanish way. Good
Local.
night.
It's a local.
So we were about 20 minutes. So we went into the church. Nick had worship rehearsal. We actually went and stopped at an awesome coffee shop right before we
Oh
crossed
my
the
gosh.
street from the church. It's like all open air. I mean, you're in the mountains, so the weather was beautiful. It was a great time. Had church there. Their church building is they're about the size of Room C. So
wow.
And this
It
might
might be
actually be
it's
bigger.
the same size, but it's probably skinnier.
Yeah, it's probably like
Wow.
half.
Yeah.
So we went to church. They have a congregation, 15 to 20 people, just amazingly sweet people, wonderful people.
Do you like that kind of smaller church experience? Because I'll just kind of bounce back and forth just a little bit to like Germany, where that church is pretty sizable. Do you like it better when you get more of that probably personal interaction then?
I just think it's unique. It's just different, right? Like, I don't know that it's good or bad or
Okay.
better or worse. It's just a different experience.
Okay.
And the culture is so different. So, like, you have and I love our partners in Germany. I've been on that trip also. In that German church of hundreds of people, you could walk in, and just because of German culture, nobody might say hi to you.
Right.
Right. Like, you've got to initiate. In Puerto Rico, I mean, every woman that's over 60 is going to walk in
Oh my gosh.
and give you a giant hug and kiss you on the cheek. And I think one of our team members said it this way, that like everybody there acts like they have been waiting for you to get there forever.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
delightful.
just like yes, it is delightful. It was wonderful, but like everybody's just very open.
Yeah.
Just kind of a different culture. Different
How did that
vibe.
fit with your personality?
Thank you. It was good. I thought I handled it well. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Big
So
smile on his face.
All right.
yep.
All right.
I loved Puerto Rico. And then so Nick and Jeff, who was on our team, helped lead worship that morning with their worship leader, and then I preached with the help of a translator. I did not preach in Spanish or my Spanish accent. Thank you.
What's the English crossover like there?
I thought it was going to be more, but it's probably about 50% of people speak
Okay.
English. They all understand it.
Okay.
Right, like almost
yeah.
all of them
Okay.
understand what you're
95%
saying it.
Oh, okay.
But they're not super comfortable speaking it, so they just
Understood.
default to Spanish.
Sure. Okay.
So,
I would say 50% can really speak
yeah.
it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so the rest of that day, service was great. We went, there's a little like square area, like town square that has like a big Ibanito sign. We went and had lunch. Honestly, with almost their whole church, like we just kind of took over a restaurant downtown and had a great time there. And then that night we actually went back to the larger Airbnb as a whole team and hung out and got to know each other, that kind of thing. So.
Did you get a chance, either one of y'all, to maybe chat with some people inside the church that, like, not that you didn't know them, but like maybe you got a different level of relationship with them?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, not that morning, but for me,
Yeah.
but
For like the whole trip.
they were with
Yeah.
us the whole time.
Yeah.
So
And it's like the whole time, because literally like every single member of that church was at every single time we served.
That's really
It
cool.
was awesome. And I literally was like, this feels like Crossroads in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Like, it is our culture to a T. The people that how they greet you to how they serve. It's exactly.
yeah, so to give you a little bit of a picture of the city that we were serving, because the next day on the trip ended up being our sightseeing day. We went into Old San Juan, like drove back the hour and a half, had a great day. It was great. We don't have to spend time on that.
Best food.
Best food I've ever had, but you should go on the trip and you'd find it, right?
Okay.
So
No concerns about driving off the mountain disco.
No, nailed it
Good.
that day.
Perfect.
It was smooth sailing. The rest of the
Yeah,
time.
it was pretty smooth sailing. So Ibanito, the city that we were serving, so it's pretty modern in the main areas. Like everything looks pretty nice. I did some more research even today. So it's a town of about 25,000 people. You wouldn't think that when you drive around, but there are houses just everywhere. Like in the jungle, in the mountains, there are just
Oh,
people
fascinating.
everywhere. So there's 25,000 people there. The average income, I looked this up today, is less than $20,000 a person. And
Ooh.
51% of their population lives below the poverty line.
Oh,
So
man.
as we talk about some of the things that happened on the trip, it makes more sense now why we had some of the impact that we did.
Is that reflected to y'all in terms of the housing and stuff that you saw? Because sometimes I think American people, it's kind of like a sort of like a shell shock when you see how other people live, and you're like, oh goodness.
Yeah, I didn't go into any homes, but
Okay.
like even
But, like, you see the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look nice. A lot of them look nice. I mean, they don't look like American homes, but
Yeah.
like the first day of ministry that we did there, we did a VBS in the afternoon for kids, and Nick was actually there, so I'll let him talk more about it. But one of the things that's interesting is that neighborhood is government housing.
Okay.
So the social worker that was there puts that out to 100 families that are in their community, and then they come in to the VBS at the basketball pavilion thing. But like when I was driving through that, I would never have thought it was government housing.
Not at all.
I mean, it was
those were some of the
beautiful.
nicest.
Yeah, it
that
was
was probably the nicest neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like suburban neighborhood that I saw
Yeah.
out of the drive
Yeah.
when we were within that 20-minute span.
Now, when we were just talking about some of those numbers of the people you met or how grateful they were, and this is just not for only you, but like, does it make you reevaluate some of the things that you think are really important and problematic in your life where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so that's not really a big deal at all?
1,000%. Yeah, that's one of the things that God definitely put on my heart is just like to be more grateful for the small things like a car or, not having to worry about like what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight. Like definitely like has put that on my heart for sure.
Yeah, so that day, I believe that was Monday. No, Tuesday. That was Tuesday. We started at a senior center. So when you hear senior living here, you hear like
Right.
facility where everyone lives. But this
Yeah.
actually was like a senior activities center. So they have a bus that goes around and picks up all the seniors, and then they drop them off at the center and they do activities together.
Oh, that's kinda neat.
There was about 60 seniors there. I'm going to share the story of the director that I'm not even sure we shared with our team. And then I'll let Nick share his perspective on the senior center because I think that was cool for him. So the director of the senior center, I found out when we got there, they had adopted a child 3 months before. Do you know the story?
No.
Oh, cool. So 3 months before we got there, they had adopted a child. And 6 weeks after they adopted it, the government decided that, or had revealed that they had held back on certain paperwork and not given them certain information. So the government came and took their child from them. And Pastor Luis, who works with this director all the time, said, "This woman has not smiled in 3 months. Every time I'm here, she cries. She is not okay." She was the one with the real short, like buzz cut hair. Yeah. So we got there, and within 5 minutes, I was standing on the other side of the room with Pastor Luis, and he said, "That woman is smiling for the first time in months."
You could not even tell that's a part of her story.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I thought it was a really cool thing for our team to like not only minister to the seniors there, but to the staff there and the director there. And we got the opportunity at the end, myself, Casey, Caitlin, we just stopped and we were like, "Hey, Pastor Luis told us your story and you don't have to tell us anything about it. We just want to pray for you," and had just a really cool moment just with her. So it was really neat to get to minister to her in that, but also alongside a bunch of seniors that this was a really great experience for our team.
Just specifically, we'll get to you in just one second, but just specifically for that, I know there are so many other people that y'all helped and interacted with, but does it feel like just that alone pretty much makes it worthwhile?
Yeah, I mean, we had literally been on mission there for 10 minutes when that happened.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, I'm so glad. Because the senior center was like a last minute addition to the trip
Okay.
that we really weren't planning on doing. And I was like, oh, we'll do it because we have enough time and
Yay.
to do it. So yeah, it was awesome.
What were your experiences like at the senior center?
Yeah.
Did you want to go to the senior center?
I was not like I was definitely paying attention to the student days because I love student ministry.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to be honest, the senior center was kind of glints over my head. VBS was the same day. We were going to split off in a group, and so I was just more focused on VBS. And when I think of senior center, I would say I'm a younger male.
Sure.
I think of
Wes might be offended by that.
Yeah.
I am not.
I just think of older people who don't really want to be helped, probably don't want to be talked to too much, don't want to be bothered.
Right.
We get in there, and they start clapping. They have this whole little chant that they do with the pastor. It was awesome, and then
Do you remember the chant?
I don't remember the
I
chant.
didn't even see it. I had to move the van.
I have a video, but yeah, it was awesome. And then automatically, just like as soon as he tells us, okay, let's start the crafts and games, you just see our team like split off, and it's like beautiful, like point blank. Like everybody just assumes to their role. There's no questions. There's no, hey, where do I go? Everybody just went to a table. They start helping with a craft. They start playing a game. I got absolutely
Checkers.
whooped in checkers by some guy. I forgot his name.
Dude was like 80 years old.
Yeah.
Was just schooling you in
And
checkers. tic-tac-toe.
tic-tac-toe. I thought I was
Yeah.
good at tic-tac-toe. Apparently not. I
Oh.
felt stupid. But it was one of the best times, and probably one of the highlights for the trip that morning. Wes had asked the whole group. We had gotten together before we went to the senior center. he asked the whole group who would like to share the gospel, who would like to do the gospel presentation. And we had, I would say everybody kind of took like a hesitant step back. Literally 3 seconds later, Jeff Connor raises his hand, and he's like, I would. And
just to be clear, Jeff Connor he at our church plays bass,
Yeah.
so it's not he's not teaching classes or he has a life group, but he's not an upfront guy normally.
Yeah, and I mean, I hadn't had like a ton of engaging conversations with Jeff, and not even an hour later, he goes up to share the gospel, and he has this beautiful like analogy of connecting it to his workplace. He builds robots. Wes remembers the analogy a little bit better.
Yeah, so he was just talking about how like he could program a robot every day to hug him, and that robot would never actually love him. And then he talked about how God in his love for us didn't create us that way, but gave us a choice, and we had the choice to choose to love God. And then wrapped it up in the gospel, and it was just beautiful.
Lovely.
I mean, yeah, and it was awesome.
Just as an aside then, for both of y'all, how cool are the moments when people from, like you said, your own church that maybe you didn't know super duper well, and you get those different kind of conversations or moments with them?
Yeah, that's another like big thing that God has put on my heart. It really challenged me with like, I'm definitely too comfortable with the bubble that I talk to here.
Sure.
And I need to start sharing my story, and I need to start hearing other people's stories within the whole church.
Yeah.
And just people I meet outside of church, because I don't do it enough, and I don't listen enough.
Well, listen, that provides us with an interesting opportunity if you think about it. We have a camera right here. This is your first time on the podcast.
Yes.
Would you like to share your story with us?
Come on, Nick.
Sure.
You really should have seen that coming.
Give us the 3-minute version.
This kind of goes back to the good was Wes a good youth pastor question.
Oh, tremendous.
No, so I grew up in a Christian home. I went to church, kind of did all the right things. I guess you could put quotes on that. I got baptized at a super young age just because I wanted to go swimming in the baptistry at my old traditional church. And then I ended up getting invited here to youth. Met Wes and a couple other people that really like poured into my life immediately when I got here. Helped me get on the worship team. Helped me realize I didn't get baptized for the right reason. And I got baptized by Wes. Well, turns out I was kind of living a double life. I was leading worship on stage, like I said, doing all the right things in God's eyes. But I fell into sexual temptation. That happened and ended up leaving out of embarrassment. I was ashamed, and so I kind of stepped away from church for a long time. I kind of got mixed up in a wrong friend
What's a
group in
long
high school.
time? Sorry.
Not a long time, a little bit, maybe like a year.
Okay.
So substantial amount of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But really an important part of my life because I was going into high school. Definitely needed like more guidance. I stayed friends with some people from here, but got mixed in with some people. Some people got mixed in with a bad friend group in high school, and I eventually got invited back into church somewhere else and started going again and again, and got back on the worship team, got to lead worship in high school for my youth group, and that was awesome. That really matured me quickly, and then got the opportunity to intern here. And that's kind of been the rekindle of our relationship. Like immediately, we hopped right back into it, and now he's one of my best friends.
So I'm going to ask both of you. I'm going to start with you, though. What does it mean to you to think about the full circle of getting baptized, maybe not for the right reasons, and then going all the way back around? And this is at least, maybe it's more, 2 straight years that you've been on mission trips for your church.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Like, it's so rewarding. And, I mean, it has just brought kind of, like, new perspective into really all aspects of my life. Like you were saying, like, how it's made me more grateful. Now I want to talk to more people about my story, about their story. And, yeah, it's really cool.
And then, Wes, I think about, like, especially the first at least 6 to 9 months of this podcast, we had so many stories after story in the Bible about, people who had kind of fallen or needed to be, I don't know, redeemed is the right word, but you get where I'm going with this. What does it mean to you then?
You don't want to do this.
Yes, I do. To see one of your students stray and then come back around, and now he's doing mission trips with you and everything?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the truth about this guy and several others, but it's some of the biggest joys of my life are those moments. So I'm not doing the emotional thing today on the podcast. So I mean, it was awesome to see him serve just in an incredible way and love people well and love students well and lead worship in Spanish when we thought it was going to be in English. And it's a real joy. It's like one of my favorite things about my life is that I work with my youth group. So
that's cool.
But yeah, I'm the end.
So you don't want me to follow up?
No, please don't.
Okay, all right. Because I do have the ability to ask follow-up questions, and we could go down a different road.
I know, but we haven't even talked about the best part of the trip yet.
All right. I mean, the best part of the trip was you two spending time together.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. What? Okay. It sounds like the senior center, though, was a real high point.
It was awesome.
But
Yeah,
you said best part of the trip.
So-
Walk me through. What day are we on?
Same day.
Okay.
In the afternoon, we split. I took a group to a different senior center where all the residents do live there. And that was a great time. Jeff shared again. It was a smaller group. That they were super kind. It wasn't the same as the morning, but it was super impactful. I got the opportunity to sit with one of the church members and hear their story and how impactful it was. But the rest of our team.
Real quick. Sorry, I'm sorry. Before we get completely off Jeff, this kind of backtracks to the question of how was it going on mission with your wife? One of the coolest things when Jeff was sharing was watching Sherry. His wife react to him sharing the gospel. You just see her face literally glow, with radiant
joy.
Yeah,
So
and it was awesome.
So
it's awesome watching the dynamic of relationships on mission trips because Wes, I mean, there was no plan. Really, the plans kept changing, like we said, and you just see Caitlin back him in every situation and reaffirm him the whole time. Yeah. And I mean, same thing with Sherry and
Kelly and Brad.
Yeah, Kelly and Brad. Yeah. It was awesome.
Would we certainly put Jeff up for mission trip MVP?
Oh yeah, he's definitely. We call him Pastor Jeff now. So
okay.
All right. So talk about VBS. So y'all went to VBS. Already set the scene in terms of who was there, neighborhood, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we get there, immediate setup, and another really cool thing. David Sweet. He just immediately brings out his puppet that he brought. He does
that he made Kermit the Frog. Handmade.
Exact. And these kids are eating it up. It's just he bounced into his element, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
But I would just say the reception of the kids just being involved in group activity. It was really cool to watch. We did a few songs with them, and they got super interactive with it when, to be honest, I didn't think they would because of the language barrier. They don't know us. This is the first time they've ever seen most of us.
Yeah, other than Casey and Reagan.
Yeah, and so watching them just be actually engaged in activity in the songs that we were doing in the puppet show, it was really, really cool.
Did it make you want to get into puppetry anymore?
Oh, 1,000%.
I wasn't there.
Wes, if we made a puppet of you as a gift, do you think you would embrace it properly?
Listen, other than last Christmas, for 5 straight Christmases here, I was the puppet during Christmas Eve services. So I love puppet ministry. I think it's amazing.
Cool.
But I've retired from it. So the next day, which was also the last day, we started with. It was a student, they called it Student Fun Day, but here we do Best Week Ever. It was kind of the idea of Best Day Ever. Yeah. They're going to gather students, we're going to have a great time. So when we got there, we learned, because lots of stuff lost in translation and Zoom calls on the way there. But, so this was 2 different high schools senior class that were invited. So there's about 60, when you say 60-ish seniors? Yeah. 60-ish.
Maybe even more.
Maybe more than that.
Okay.
It's a city athletic track is where we met. Great facility. It was just really cool. It was raining when we got there. I subsequently fell
gosh.
immediately when we got there, but that's okay.
Trying to run or just?
Nope, just walking.
Just to get onto the track.
Just trying to step onto the track. Just tore my whole left leg up. But to be fair, 3 other people then subsequently fell in the same place. So
Okay. Because did you not warn them?
I did warn them. Thank you. Man, I really am a nice person. I'm just so everybody knows.
Which has a really dignified.
Yeah, it's deep in my heart.
What, you told me to diverge away from
Yeah.
you could have changed these kids' lives. You told me to move on from that line of questioning. So now because of you, a bunch of people fell over.
So, we were out there with the police department from the city was there. They do like a monthly event for teenagers. They set up this obstacle course on the running track that kind of ended.
Course ever.
It
What was that?
The longest
Oh.
obstacle course ever, which we'll get there. And then there was a water slide, like a big inflatable water slide at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then our team set up 2 like big game stations in the middle of the track. So, on the grass area in the middle of the track. One of the coolest moments though for me is before we started, we were standing, myself and then Casey Pruitt and then Pastor Luis were standing out in the middle of the field. And he was talking about how last year on the trip, he had told Casey his dream was just to be able to have an event for teenagers. And then he looked into the stands where all the kids were sitting and he just said, dreams come true. And that moment of
That's awesome.
Man, this faithful pastor in the middle of nowhere, Puerto Rico, somehow this church from Rowlett, Texas showed up and met him in a place where like he's been praying that his church could do this, and we got to be the hands and feet of Jesus to do that for him. And that was just a really cool moment. And then all the chaos started after that.
What does
In
what
great,
does that
great
look like?
chaos.
Yeah,
great chaos. But just like this guy led like a water wars type station where kids were just pelting each other with water balloons, and like teenagers are the same everywhere. So if there was a loose bucket of water, it was getting dumped on somebody.
Yeah.
And then we were playing all ball, which is like a form of baseball, just with different types of like you kick a kickball or hit a baseball, and I don't remember what else, threw a football. Most of them kicked a football. I don't know what the deal with that was. But like several of our like senior adults on our team were playing, and like multiple of them like trying to run the bases were like falling, but everybody like, so there's this verse in Nehemiah chapter 8 on the podcast called What the Bible Says About, that says the joy of the Lord is our strength. And I think that was the picture of our team. And that was the picture of the church from Ibenito, which is Raham Ibenito. Raham is compassion in Hebrew. That's the name of their church. And man, just the joy that church had, and then the joy our team had in just doing ridiculous things, right? Like to reference the longest obstacle course in the history of the world, we waited to participate in the obstacle course for an hour, just standing in the heat on the track. Taking pictures. What we realized later was this is like their first senior class event. So they were trying to get all the seniors there, and they kept adding. Like it, honestly, it was very similar to something that would happen here. And then we finally went through it, and like everybody had to go through it, but you couldn't start until one person finished. And the length of the obstacle course was half of a running track.
Wow.
So it was a long process, but it was fun. And then after that,
how did you do on the obstacle course?
I didn't do it because I know my limits.
He's a great flag waver.
Okay.
I did not wave the flags. I took video for you.
How did you do on the obstacle course?
I did
That you
pretty
didn't use.
abysmal. Pretty bad.
So talk about what we did after that, because that was probably the most impactful part of the morning.
Yeah, I mean we had service after, so we got a couple of tents in a small little stage, and we did English worship at first. Did not go over well. For sure. So I guess after, maybe it's your senior year that you learn how to speak English.
Yeah.
But maybe only like 10 of them out of the 60 or 70, 6, 7. Maybe 10 of them actually spoke English.
Okay.
So English worship didn't go great. We quickly grasped that idea. Well, thankfully, Pastor Luis the day before told us, "Hey, it'd actually be good if you do like 2 songs in Spanish," which it's kind of crazy because a couple like weeks before, the Lord had put on my heart recently like Spanish worship. Never been a thought in my mind before.
Wow, that's
and
wild.
I've been listening to the Spanish version of Who Else, like on repeat. We've done Holy Forever in Spanish a few times here, so I already knew that. And so we had 2 songs like ready to go in Spanish pretty much. We practiced them the night before, super smooth. We did them the next day. Well, before that, Wes did a message, and it was awesome. Ended up having to transition from that like the day before as well. And then we had a few prayer stations. So any area of need that a student needed prayer to, they went to the station. They got prayed over by one of our leaders. And then we did Spanish worship, wrapped it up, and
A couple of kids accepted Christ during that moment. So it was
Oh,
cool
man.
that
really cool.
their church's leaders came around and prayed with students and led them to Christ, and that was just a really cool, cool moment. And then that night happened. So Pastor Luis had told me before that we were going to do a block party for all those students and their parents outside somewhere in the city. And then the Sunday that we were there, he was like, hey, the city gave us permission to use the arena in Abenito. So I thought, okay, so like we're going to go to like a high school gym and go have a block party, which is be an awesome facility. We show up to this monstrosity of a building that is, so I looked it up today, that seats 2,500 people.
Oh.
And is just like this beautiful place that has concession stands. And we had rented like different food to come out and give out food. So that night, the way we kind of ended our trip was all those students and their parents came. We played games. We face painted. David, who on the team, who was the puppet guy, he did like a speed painting in the hour and a half of the block party and painted this beautiful picture.
Cool.
Judy did a great job with Kelly, like leading crafts during that time. And honestly, what we did as a team is we got all the supplies that we had not used yet and just brought them to block party and was like, figure out something to do with them. And it was just this awesome time of getting to hang out. And then they presented backpacks with Bibles to all the seniors there. And then I didn't even.
Did they seem excited about receiving those?
Yeah, they don't. I don't know that they seemed excited about individually being announced, but they they were excited about the backpacks. And then one of the things that most of our team didn't get to hear because this was our last night was we had agreed to send some money as a part of the Puerto Rico trip to them, and what that money is going to do is fund graduation regalia for those kids for their graduations this year.
That's cool.
So that was kind of like our kind of gift to them as we left. And then
how cool is it to see the connection of y'all actually being there for that senior class and knowing that the gift is like, these are the people right here.
Yeah. So our hope next year is to get to like invite them back post graduation because a lot of them don't leave their hometown. So
now you mentioned something just a minute ago about like, hey, we had this other stuff and you're like, we're going to use it, figure it out. How important is it, if both of y'all have been on multiple trips like this, to be flexible?
In Puerto Rico, you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Their culture is so different. It is so slow paced. It is very relational. Though even the way like their governments function is different. Like if we were trying to rent a 2,500 seat arena next week, we would have no luck here. Even though there's several within just a few miles of here. For them, they were like, "Oh, we're not using it this week. Do you want it?"
Oh,
right. Like on a Sunday, by the way.
On a Sunday,
you don't
on a holiday weekend. On a holiday weekend. So
wow.
It's just a very different culture, a different thing. We have a better idea of what's available now. So like when we go next year, like we have a better expectation of like what to prepare for and things like that. But yeah, we were there on a holiday weekend, a Puerto Rican holiday for someone famous in Puerto Rican history. Mm-hmm. Do not ask me who. That is not.
That holiday really resonated with you.
But what was interesting was the governor is not in great graces with the people there.
Okay.
So he had given them off also the previous Friday and a late start on the Tuesday. So
like kind of, hey, I'm not so bad.
Right. But it did make some things complicated. Some like different restaurants were closed because if Abenito was like, if everything shut down for 4 days, people leave. So like we learned stuff and it was a great time. Let me tell you about one of the most
Can I
unexpected things. Go.
Okay, I do want to know about that, I promise. I'm so sorry. But I wanted to know from Nick, from your perspective as well, just internally, how important is it for you to be flexible as well? Not like structurally, but like just you as an individual.
I mean, as an individual, I mean, like things, it just changes. Like it can be a scheduled itinerary. Like Germany, I feel like was so like strict to itinerary.
Yeah.
Here's when we need to get here. Here's when the kids arrive. This is when they depart.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, we literally were figuring out different plans per day. So it's important because I mean,
and we had a loose
completely affects
schedule
your
before.
mood.
Yeah.
And like we said, like the joy of the Lord is your strength. We definitely found that because there was many times we could have complained. We were tired. The plans kept changing. But just the way that we did find joy in the Lord, I feel like really brought the team together. It really gave us a positive mindset and kept us pushing to each activity.
Sorry to take that momentum away. I'm ready now.
So one of the most shocking things I thought happened on the trip that I didn't realize until the last night was some of the economic impact that our team had on the city of Ivanito. So you have to remember 50% live below the poverty line, which means not a lot of people are eating out. Not a lot of people are engaging in restaurants, things like that. It's a holiday weekend, so this happened multiple times. I'll tell a short version and then a longer version of a different story. So some of our team had done some research about Puerto Rican food, and there was something about Puerto Rican Chinese food that we needed to try.
Really?
And everybody should try it because it was awesome. But when the lady from the church that went to go get our food from them, we spent, I think we spent $110 at the Chinese place. The Chinese family that made the food, Pastor Luis was like, we have ordered from there 100 times, and we have never seen the family. We just pick up the bag of food and go. But they came out to the car to meet the people who had spent $100 on Chinese food, and they're like, this will change our month.
Wow.
So
holy moly.
That happened at the Chinese place. It happened at a pizza place. But then ultimately, kind of the coolest story for me, I can't believe we've gotten this far and not talked about Pink Bunny. But so Pink Bunny is an ice cream shop, or Church's Chicken there. It's amazing.
It was so good.
Man, you're kind of blowing my mind with some of these food recommendations.
So
you got to try the Chinese food and the Church's Chicken
also,
in Puerto
I think
Rico.
Marco's funds the island.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marco's Pizza there, but and we didn't go. But Pink Bunny, ice cream shop chain in that area, Puerto Rico, awesome smoothies, great. It was so good. Some of our team went to Pink Bunny. We went back to the church because all this is in walking distance. And we're standing in the church, and Pastor Luis, when we got back one day, he said, y'all need to try an authentic Puerto Rican popsicle. And I'm all about it because we're in Puerto Rico, so why not? So he said, it's across the street. So we walk over there, meet this young guy, young adult guy, super kind, has this popsicle stand kind of in the heart of downtown Ivanito. He literally goes home, gets fresh fruit, cuts it up, mashes it up, puts it in a popsicle, freezes it, and then sells it the next day. That is his life.
Yeah.
So all of us, I think there were 12 of us there. I got pooped on by a bird while we were there. Nick didn't come at that time. He was tired. I don't know why you didn't come actually, but that seemed like a good example. But we walked back to the church, great popsicles, great experience. So the last night at the block party, Pastor Luis tells us, so he had been building a relationship with the popsicle stand owner for a year. And this popsicle stand is across the street from the church. It's not far. That guy has never showed up at the church, never showed interest. His religious system is he just grasps from whatever, and whatever works for him that day, that's what he uses. Like, that's what he embraces. The day after we went, he showed up at the church. There was only a teenager there at the time. Teenager got to talk to him, share like why the crazy people from Texas were there. Called Pastor Luis. Pastor Luis got to go to the church, share the gospel with this guy, invite him in, and he said, Luis was like, why did you come here today? And he said, y'all brought the most generous people from Texas to bless me and have popsicles. And that's why I'm here. So you go, like, even those little moments on mission trips where you go, this is like an indiscriminate moment of, we could just all be hanging out and chilling, but let's go have popsicles. Man, 12 people buying popsicles in Ivanito, Puerto Rico could change this guy's eternity.
Yeah.
And has already been back to the church. I was talking to Luis the other day.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And that relationship is just growing. And it's just because some Americans that got on board with going on mission decided to go try a Puerto Rican popsicle.
Does it feel like that kind of encapsulates right there, honestly, what this is all about? Is like, hopefully you get through as many people as possible, but if you even get through to the one person who steps through the door.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would tell you, like, if you're struggling with why should I go on missions, because I have this question from people all the time at our church, I will say there are always obstacles to not going. There will always be obstacles to not going. Like for us, we really struggled because we had to leave our 18-month-old son here.
Yeah.
And we have great family and great parents, and they did a great job watching him. But that was a hard decision for us. But we're so grateful that we did. My wife fell in love with Puerto Rico and is like, we will go every year. We will take our son there to invest in that community. So like, I would tell you, if you're thinking about going to Puerto Rico, it is a great first mission trip. It's a great opportunity just to learn the gifts that God's given you in a variety of different places, but it was an awesome time.
Then for you, Nick, whether it's just individually or bigger picture, why do you think it's important to go on a mission trip or continue to go on mission trips?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important just to see like that God really does move all over the world. I've got now the opportunity to go to New York, Germany, and Puerto Rico on a mission trip, and it's just like there's no reinventing the wheel on this. Like you go, you share the gospel, and you see the payoff. Like just like we're seeing now in Puerto Rico, like you said, like the popsicle man. Yeah. I guess that's what I'll call him.
I can't remember his name.
It's those off schedule moments that really like build and complete the trip, and I've gotten those every single time, and just seeing that payoff is awesome.
And then I guess you'll probably give me a somewhat similar answer. Why do you, especially when you have so much stuff to do here, continue to want to go on these mission trips?
Yeah, that's actually a great question because.
Thank you.
Okay.
If it helps, I say that in my other profession, regardless of who says that. I
right.
always
What do you do
follow
for a
up with
living?
thank you.
Yeah, so for a long time, I wasn't missions guy. So Caitlin and I laugh all the time that I oversee international missions because for so long that wasn't my passion.
Right.
Going to Africa in college just changed my perspective on that, and going on mission isn't an option. It's a command. Go into all the nations, and we live in a generation where that is uniquely possible compared to the rest of history.
Sure.
So for me, I love to go because it always gives me perspective, right? Like I can get wrapped up in my problems, my issues, my stuff, my life here, and the moment you step off a plane in a different place, even if it's domestic, even if it's Puerto Rico or Germany or Africa or wherever, God just always slaps me in the face gently because he's kind and goes, remember, you should be grateful, and remember there are lost people here also that desperately need Jesus. So it always gives me perspective. It also just grows me. It challenges me. I love to be comfortable. And mission trips are a great place to be uncomfortable. And yeah, it's just that's why I go.
Whether it's next year or whenever, could you see an expansion of the Puerto Rico trip, either from time spent there, number of people who go, anything along those lines?
Absolutely. I was talking to Pastor Luis in the arena the last night of the trip, and I said, I see a vision of this place filled with teenagers. And I don't know when that'll be, but they've got 3 high schools. They have thousands of kids that go there. I think it would just be there's an incredible opportunity to reach teenagers for the gospel there. And that necessitates more people, requires more resources, it requires maybe more time. So yeah, absolutely.
And I think that was the first day we saw the high school students.
Yeah.
That was the only day we got to see the high school students. Yeah. And that night is really when spiritual conversations really began to be comfortable and be built.
So you can see how expansion
exactly.
would.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, I love it. Anything else tidbit-wise you want to throw out, or anything else
Best
we need to
food
know?
I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant in Old San Juan called Raíces, and I had the red snapper mofongo. which is mashed plantains with like a creamy garlic sauce with diced red snapper on it. And Nick had the same thing, but it was beef.
Steak chimichurri.
And it was awesome.
It was beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
It's amazing.
honestly, like,
Go for the food, stay for the conversions.
no. Man, honestly, it was just a really cool trip. The opportunity to like connect that local church within their city and to different people. It was just awesome time.
Yeah. I feel like we have to shout out the guy on the plane. for this.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we absolutely should. You want to tell the story?
So
Please.
this is
This is a good closer.
we have completed our flight from San Juan to Houston. We've completed our layover. We're now boarding the plane from Houston to Dallas.
At 10:30 in the evening.
10:30 in the evening.
But you're
It's
so
a long
close.
travel
Yeah.
day. We're so close. I'm ready to get home.
Long week.
I have a beautiful aisle seat. Okay, and Natalie, one of the
Man,
ladies
called her out by
who
name.
went on the
Oh.
who had a middle seat, and somebody was supposed to sit on the window seat. Well,
that somebody.
happened to turn out to be 6'6".
Oh, dip.
Not wide, but just stout.
Yeah,
6'6"
big dude.
and stout. And so Natalie sees him and is like, "Oh, this is a bigger guy. Hey, do you want the aisle seat? The one I'm sitting in. The one that I'm sitting in."
Oh.
And I'm already up because I'm waiting for him
Yeah.
to get in. And she was like, "Oh yeah, you can have it." Scoots over to the window seat. So I don't even get the window
Oh, she didn't keep the
Nope.
middle?
seat. Scoots over to the window seat.
Not cool, Natalie.
And so I'm just too nice. And so I sit down in the middle. He sits down in the aisle. The AC is leaking. It is dripping on me right now. And I'm in a terrible mood. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well make, light of the situation while we have it. Start talking to the guy, what we're doing. And he asks a little bit more questions. And I go, "Oh, yeah, we're with Crossroads Church." I guess something clicked in his brain. He's like, "Crossroads Church, do you guys have a podcast?"
What?
Yes.
I turned around and took my hat off, and he was like, "You're on the podcast."
Yep. And he pulled
That
up a
is
picture.
outstanding.
Immediately recognizes all three, Jason, you, and Wes. And he's like, "That's him. That's him." Lives in Richardson, goes to church in Richardson, not to give away a bro's IP address. And,
You're on the podcast.
yeah, so if you're listening right now, shout
Sitting in
out.
Houston
Thank
Yeah.
you for taking my
on the
aisle seat.
tarmac, you're like,
No, thank you.
you'll have a podcast.
And if you can also tell us you thought Natalie should have stayed in that middle seat, that'd be great. As well, man, that is a fantastic way to end it for Nick. Excellent work on
Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, absolutely. And then next time you're on the plane, obviously more people will recognize you. So
Right, that's how
hopefully
it
you
is.
can.
Maybe they won't
roll-
take your aisle seat.
Yeah,
maybe. Hopefully not.
He's like, oh,
They won't be this time.
for Nick? No, you stay. And for Wes, I remain Kevin. We will catch you next time on the Crossroads Podcast.